Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sasquatch Theory. I hope everyone has been enjoying the mini-series at the Killing Fields. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up if you have. In this video, David leaves for the day, and I have the entire property to myself. So essentially, I have around 30,000 acres to look through. I begin by exploring more of David's property and maybe look for some better places to run audio. I will admit that even though there are Sasquatch back at where I live, this place just gives me the creeps. I don't get this feeling at my area, where I know the Sasquatch are at frequently. So what is it? Why does this forest feel like an ocean, with an ominous feeling of being constantly watched by something you cannot see? Is it Sasquatch? Or something else? I hope my audio recorders pick up something, but I am also glad to be putting all my gear to work and be getting more experience out in the field. When the Sasquatch are present and they are around, you're gonna know it. What I heard the other night was at a long distance, so I'm not sure what it was, but I'm willing to stay and figure it out and hopefully document some of the sounds. If you enjoy learning about Sasquatch and following me with my investigation and interviews, then please like and subscribe. Well, David's gone for the day. He has a doctor's appointment, and I have the place to myself. My thinking is I will go explore where I heard the vocalizations last night. I can't even describe what I heard just because I never heard anything like it. Not even in my woods. It was really strange. Yeah, it was really nice sleeping in the snug pack cave tent, and they didn't buy this for me, and I'm not affiliated with them. I'm using it, and that's what I'm showing. It's a great tent, worked out awesome. So last night, like I told you guys, every time that I tried to film, it seemed like nothing would happen, and then I'd put the camera up, and then I'd get all kinds of vocalizations, stick breaks, knocks, thumps. Every time I bust out the camera, it stopped. So I'm hoping that my recorders picked something up, but just in case they didn't, I set up this little bitty audio recorder, the Zoom H1N, on this tripod with some headphones here. I don't have a parabolic dish, but I have these babies. So it's connected to some headphones, and then I have, here, let me show you guys. We have an external mic cord, and it's going around that white oak, and the cord goes up there, but it's facing, one mic's facing where I heard all the noise from, and the other one's facing this way, which there was a significant amount of weird sounds coming from over there, but it mainly seemed like it was coming from over there. So that's where I want to explore. David is pretty fixed on the fact that, I shouldn't say the fact, but he seems to think that the Sasquatch are coming from the park, but from what I'm seeing, these things are coming, or at least last night they were over there. So closer to private property, closer to, or on private property and near the farm, the farmlands. That's where I heard everything. So last night I heard this big buck spook down here, right around my recorder. I'm not sure if he picked up on the scent, but that's where the noises were coming from. And over here where David and I found a bunch of deer scrapes. I heard another one spook. And I can tell the difference between a buck and a doe. They're really loud. You can tell they got a much bigger body, and it's like a bigger snort wheeze or whatever it's called. But yeah, I'm gonna check this audio recorder, make sure it's running good. Like I said, I just bought these things and I'm not sure if everything's working properly. Hopefully it is. Here, I'll show you guys what we got. Alright, so we set up the audio pod, the LDR long duration recorder, right here on this white oak. I think it's a white oak, it looks like it. So we'll check it out and see if it's working. Make sure we got some stuff, guys. Well, it seems to be working, but it didn't turn off. I wonder why. Try to figure that out. Acorns are falling like crazy. These ones have a really interesting color. They look like candy corn. But yeah, let's get out and explore, guys. Alright, so somewhere out this way is where I was hearing those crazy sounds. So maybe I can find something. It didn't seem like it was coming from like the trails or David's food plots. It seemed like it was coming from like the backwoods over here. Normally when they do stuff like that, they throw up structures. And with my experience, pretty much wherever you hear the crazy sounds, if you go investigate that area, you're gonna find some stick breaks and stuff, because not only are they doing that, they're throwing rocks, they're breaking limbs. There's a fresh deer scrape right here. Look at that. That looks like it was just made. Yeah. This is one of David's old deer stands. Look at this. It is tore up. Absolutely tore up. And where this tree fell and blocked this stand, there's another scrape. Real fresh scrape right there. That's wild. This thing was breaking limbs down here with its horns. It must be a really big deer. Something's down there. Sounded like something big was coming. Fight or flight right there, guys. Sounded like a big tree got pushed over, and then it sounded like something was coming down the hill. I kind of froze because I didn't know if I should run or record. Holy crap. Heard a few good sized trees fall down in this direction. Maybe this is where they're at. I heard a big one yesterday, and I don't know what that was just now. Yeah, this is a big hill. There's a lot to explore out here. Look at this. That fell. All right, we're gonna see what's going on out in the woods. Hopefully tonight they do what they did last night and we'll capture some good audio. We have the audio recorders out, but I think they were a little bit too far out of range to pick up anything, but maybe not. We'll see, guys. All right, let's go explore the park, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the new microphones. I know it's hard to hear sometimes when people are recording out in the woods. But I told you guys that I would improve, and I did, so be sure to expect more improvements. All right, we're on Trail 12 right now. Kind of a spooky trail to walk down by yourself. I don't think people really ever walk these trails, they're just side by side. I didn't find too much on Trail 12, but I also didn't go very far. It just didn't feel safe walking super deep in there without some type of firearm. I'm not from around here, so I don't know these woods very well, and I'm not going to take that chance. But I came down to the killing fields to see if I can possibly find a rock circle or rock pile somewhere. I was hoping to film some wildlife, but there's no deer, no animals in sight. It's like they know when David's not around, they take off and hide. They know it's not safe. If there's any Sasquatchers out there watching this that have done this a time or two, feel free to give me some tips in the comments down below. That's the killing field right there. We're gonna take a peek in there and see what we can spot. Our wind's blowing directly in there, so we're probably not gonna see very much. But it's early, it's really hot right now. This is the area that we came around the bend and David started feeding the deer and they all started running down, and when I looked back there was already like 20 or 30 deer behind us. I have no idea where they came from, but they were definitely hungry because it was wintertime. It is hot out here. All right, so I ended up moving the recorder from that center ridge over to that ridge over there because I was hearing the sounds somewhere over there, really loud, and that's where most of the activity was coming from. So I adjusted accordingly. But yeah, I'm gonna head back to camp. Hopefully David will be home soon. I wasn't able to take the side by side and check on the other recorders just because the gas was getting low, but I have faith in David and I know he's going to be back soon, so I'll see you guys at the campsite. All right, it's about to get dark, and hopefully whatever happened last night happens again tonight. We had the recorders out, but I haven't had a chance to review the recordings yet, but hopefully the audio is awesome. What I heard over there was undescribable. It sounded like, I don't know, some type of creature is the best way I can describe it. There's no way to imitate it or try to explain it just because it's so unusual. But tonight I'm more prepared, and I'm thinking the wind's gonna die down. It already has, but hopefully it doesn't pick up again. The wind was blowing earlier, so that's not very good for audio. I've heard all kinds of noises since I've been here. Definitely acorns dropping and squirrels thrashing around the trees, but definitely heard a bunch of trees get pushed over or fall over. And I heard a limb
last night. It sounded like it got snapped, and you could like hear it getting dragged through the woods. And I've heard that before. I heard it at Bill's place out in the Mark Twain. After this Sasquatch knocked a few times, you could hear him snap a few limbs, and it sounded like he was dragging like the limb across the forest floor. So I definitely think they're around. And when I went down Trail 12, I felt like I was being watched. It was the strangest thing. Once I got down to the bottom, there was these hills that overlooked these food plots, and I had the strange feeling that I was being watched by something in there. So I ended up coming back over here, heading back to David's place, and I had to change out the batteries in the recorders just because I knew there was a setting that was messed up. It was some type of power setting, and basically the recorders didn't turn off, but they did record, so we're good on that end. But I had to get 2 of the recorders and charge them up to the battery bank and recharge the batteries, and basically make sure everything was working. But I think we're good. I have faith that it's working. I ended up moving one of the recorders that I placed out on the center ridge that was close to the killing field. I moved it way over here on the high ground, as close as I can get to the neighbor's property. And I'm hoping we pick up whatever was there last night, because it was awesome. I'm not sure if these wireless mics picked up any of that noise. I don't think so, just because they're made not to pick up external sounds, just whatever's around the actual recorder itself. But yeah, guys, it's gonna be an awesome day, or an awesome night. I know there's gonna be activity, and hopefully something comes out. One guy mentioned in the comments, not everything's Bigfoot. Obviously, I don't say that everything I find is Sasquatch evidence. I'm looking at things that look out of place and say maybe, possibly. I even say that. So people kind of fill in the blanks and try to make it look like something it's not, to misrepresent us or try to make us look bad. So all the people in the comments that just watch one video and try to judge the entire channel, stop doing that. It's not cool, man. Judge a book by its cover after you read it, basically, is what I'm saying. But it's cool. I get it, guys. Alright, so before darkness falls, I want to discuss with you guys what tips you off and lets you know that the Sasquatch are around. So different ways that I'm able to tune in to the Sasquatch and know that they're around is wood knocks. You can listen to wood knocks. Obviously they're different than woodpeckers and acorns falling. Another way is limbs breaking. So different things that tip me off and let me know the Sasquatch are around are 1, the wood knocks, 2, tree breaks, thumps, and trees being pushed over. Here in Missouri, that seems to be like the biggest cue for knowing that the Sasquatch are around. Obviously, other ways of knowing the Sasquatch are around is if you hear strange vocalizations. Another way is rock clacking. Sometimes you find fresh structures on your property or on public land, whatever it is, and that lets you know that they're around. If you find old sign, they may not be around, but if you can find like fresh green breaks, that's some of the best stuff right there. Or if you hear them, you go to that area where you heard the activity and you go and investigate it. Sometimes you'll be surprised by what you can find and what's lurking around. This stuff's happening right under people's noses, and most people aren't aware. So if you get into one of these areas, more than likely you're going to be the first one to be doing research and breaking everything down and gathering evidence. But that's not always the case. Sometimes these structures are right there off a gravel road or right off a trail where everybody can see it, so it doesn't always work that way. But yeah, some of the best ways to find structures is when you hear the activity. Like I said before, you go there and you check out the area, and a lot of times you'll be surprised by what you find. Because if you're hearing vocalizations, you're hearing thumps and trees being broke, obviously if you go to that area, you're going to find some broken limbs. But the goal is that they were possibly putting up structures. This one time I was bow hunting in a field, and I heard a bunch of knocks right before it got dark. And when I went back 2 months later to that same spot, I discovered like a little pond, and the ridge really dipped down, and it made sense why the Sasquatch were there and why they were observing me. But when I walked back a little bit further, I started finding giant structures everywhere, and it was amazing. Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Giant X's all over the place, big arches, and intricate structures that seemed to have some type of strange meaning to them. And that all happened from wood knocks. Bow hunting, hearing wood knocks, checking out the wood knocks, and finding the structures. And that's the best way to experience activity. You want to be either a hunter or a fisherman. I hate to say it, but that's one of the best ways, because you're targeting the same food source as the Sasquatch, and you're putting yourself in the best position to get a kill. And that's what the Sasquatch are doing at the same time. They're attracted to the areas that the wildlife is at, or whatever food source they're looking for, whether it's water or some type of ag on some farmer's property. But yeah, I'm having a good time out here. My goal of camping out here is to have the Sasquatch come in around camp. I think that'd be really cool if they came in and just started stomping around and making all kinds of noise. I kind of have like this vision that the Sasquatch would be just standing right there in the camp, and I'd film it. That'd just be the coolest thing ever, just to see this thing standing right there and to get a shot like that. But at the same time, I would freak out just because I'm out here. When I had my encounters, I was close to the safety of my home. So if something happened out here, I'm definitely going to be on edge. I will freak out. By freaking out, I mean like freeze and not know what to do. And that kind of worries me, just because I don't want to miss that footage, and I don't know. I don't want to get hurt either. But yeah, I hope they come in and start stomping around the area and pushing over trees. Hopefully do some vocalizations. That would be top notch if I could capture something on camera and also get some audio. I noticed that when I seen Timber Giant, Bigfoot, I think that's the name, he had a video where he recorded a Sasquatch, and you could hear the thing rock clacking, and it seemed like it was breaking nuts or doing something. It was eating something. But that's top notch, people, because you're getting video and good audio. I mean, both being suffice evidence in my eyes. When I saw that video, it had the same shape as the juvenile I saw. Like, I don't know, it's a really awkward shape, really. If you didn't see this thing head on and see its face, you wouldn't know what you were looking at. Like, if you looked at it from the side or from the back, or if it was on all fours and you couldn't see the face, you wouldn't know what the heck it was. Alright, so this is camp, but check out this view. Yeah, I'll go a little bit slower for you guys. Check out this view. It is beautiful out here. So that's my view from my campsite, and it's basically these food plots that David built. It goes way down there though, and I think right over here is where I have the audio recorder. That might actually be the tree right there. Yeah, if something comes around camp, we're definitely going to pick it up, guys. And we have the other audio recorder right behind the tent. I'll show you guys that. David told me that one of his neighbors back there on the conservation area had this cedar tree in his yard, and him and his family went into town, and when they came back, that cedar was snapped in half. And there was no wind that day. It was a calm day, so they really thought that was unusual, but David was telling me that, and I had the same experience. That was one of my first experiences that kind of got me into the whole Bigfoot thing. Way back in the day, I was hunting in this little black chair in this little funnel area up in my driveway, and there was a cedar, probably about that big around, and it was pretty tall. Well, when I got, I don't know what that is, but I hunted this area, and I came back, and this cedar was snapped in half the next morning. And I know that there wasn't any wind that night. It was a calm night. I mean, there wasn't any wind. And when I got back and I saw this break about 7 feet high, it wasn't like snapped in half. Like, it had like this point to it, like it broke like this. So you could tell there was a lot of pressure. It was a green cedar, and that freaked me out, but I didn't think Sasquatch at that time. I didn't even know they were really around. I think I'd seen some stuff on TV, but that was clue number one, and my mistake for not really paying attention and just laughing it off. Because years later, where that break happened is where all the activity really took place. And it was years later. I mean, probably like 4 or 5, maybe even more years. So there was a big gap there from finding that cedar and years later having extreme activity and having sightings and encounters. It seems like the Sasquatch remember where they've been and where they go, and they'll come back. You don't know when, but they will be back. And sometimes in full force, it seems. I don't know, maybe they're watching people and they get used to them, you know. They pick out the people who they trust the most, possibly, is my theory. Yeah, every time I camp here and we come up here for the evening, David drops me off and he always says, "Good luck," and drives off real fast. He's always like hoping that I experience what he's experienced before, and last night I definitely did, and that was cool. I know 100% what David's talking about now, and it is unusual. There's definitely some strange things going on in these woods, and I have no explanation for it other than Sasquatch, unless it's some other type of cryptid. I don't know. But yeah, David's coming back, and I can show him the audio recorder that I rigged up. I'm sure he'll be excited to see that. I tried to set it up last night, but it wasn't working out in the dark. Oh, there's David right there. Coming to see what shenanigans I got going on, probably. Making sure I didn't burn his woods down. What's going on? Oh, did you finally get back?
Finally.
Yeah.
You want to go remove that recorder?
Did you get a message?
Uh-uh.
Okay, well I moved that one on the center ridge and I put it way over here on this high point. Like when you're going down the road, you went down on the highest spot before you dropped down in those fields.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where I was hearing the sounds at, but we had a problem. We still got all the recordings. We recorded, but the recorders, at least that one down here next to camp, it was on. So there's like a power saving setting, and I switched it from 10 minutes to 0 minutes, so it didn't shut off. So I had to bring it back, recharge it, and put them back out. I put this audio recorder right here on this tripod so I can see it better. And then it's got an external mic that's running and connected to that tree.
Oh, yeah.
But it's aiming that way and that way, north and south. But I got these little headphones here so I can listen too.
Oh.
So it's like a little parabolic at the same time.
I'll
Like,
be darned.
I mean, here, you can try it out real quick. And just put these on. You hear anything? Yeah. Yeah.
Big time.
If I would have had
You
that
hear
set up,
you can hear these crickets.
yeah, every little leaf,
Yeah, and you better
stick
not
and
say
everything.
nothing. 'Cause
yeah,
that's loud too.
yeah. Oh, when
Yeah,
they
that
go
looks
off, I'm
good.
just gonna have to sit still or walk way down there or something, away from
Yeah.
that recorder too. Something was tearing up this log. You see that? Something really tore into that log. Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. We were further back, huh? Yeah. Over here. Yeah, I found it. Oh wow. It fell out. I don't know if it got pulled out. Alright. Shoot.
The recorder got pulled out of the.
Yeah. Yeah, it fell out of there. Or it got pulled out. Alright, I'm going to change this one setting. And that thing's probably dead, isn't it? Is it blinking that yellow light? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It's blinking battery dead.
Yeah. Alright, see right here where it says power save.
Uh-huh.
I should have put that on 10 minutes, so it turns off in like 10 minutes. That's what it was on, and I switched that. But now my battery's about dead, so I'll have to change the battery to alkaline instead of NIMH. Oh shoot, turn this thing off. I think it'll like corrode the device if you use the wrong battery. You gotta switch it, actually, like manually switch the battery in the settings. Oh boy.
Did you drop the battery?
Misplaced it. Yeah, I'm glad I brought this extra battery because that setting was on. So we're good to go. We didn't miss anything. Should we leave it here or put it in a different place?
It's up to you. Whatever you're the
I'm the Squatch master.
You're the Squatch master. Oh, Squatch master.
Right. Well, I don't know if it was this thing. Let's test it out real quick. Oop. Test me. See if it'll just slide out of here. No, I don't know how that fell out, David. That's weird. Maybe something pulled it out. Maybe we got some good audio. Well, they're back here, right? This is where they're supposed to be at. All right. We'll hang this bad boy.
Turn him back on.
You turn it off, and it turns on its own.
Oh, okay.
It should. You hear that over there?
No, all I hear is ringing in my ears.
We got something coming. Come on.
See, you shook it enough right there that it shouldn't fall.
Yeah. Yeah, that shouldn't fall out of there. Okay.
Keep going.
My battery's at 0. It's been at 0 for a while.
Yeah, this road's getting a little bit more wild as we go.
Oh, yeah. These are supposed to be fire trails.
All right. I'm going to turn on the audio recorder. David just went back to his place, and yeah, we'll see if we can get anything. Right now is about the time that things start kicking off. All right, we are recording, guys. Hopefully we capture something, and I think it's going to be a pretty good night. All right, I'm going to do a few loud knocks and some calls. Hopefully it'll draw them in. I'm anticipating that this method will work, but the only problem is the wind kind of picked up tonight, so it's kind of a bummer, but we'll see what we can do.
I search the surrounding forest for any eye shine with my night vision, and I look around for anything that could possibly be watching me. I can't describe the feeling of being out here alone, but it's an amazing feeling, and it's an excellent way to find yourself. Connecting with Mother Nature is a great way to recharge your batteries and refresh your mind.
Not sure if that was acorns, but definitely heard something over there back at the campsite. Not sure if it's gonna rain. I better check the weather. I don't think it is. I mean, the moon's out, so I think we're just getting started tonight. Hopefully they come in, guys. I know I keep saying that, but it would really be awesome if they did. I know that's what you guys are waiting for. You guys want to experience some of the activity that everybody's talking about. All right, we're walking this trail down in the woods. I really can't see much, and I can't turn on my headlamp. because I got the night vision on, and any bright light will damage the IR. But yeah, earlier I heard this owl screech. I think it was an owl. It was kind of freaky. So I'm gonna come down here and check it out, see what's going on. Not really a big fan of walking out in the woods at night, but maybe we'll get some activity. Camp's up there. It's really quiet tonight. There's not really much wildlife going off. Maybe they'll go off later on tonight. I really hope so. Well, that kind of sounded like a knock over there. Alright. I heard something a little funky back up the trail, so I'm going to head back. I don't know what that was. There's a deer freaking out over there. Maybe for my call, but I heard something weird over there, like some grunts or something, like ruff, ruff. That was kind of weird. But I'm not going to think about it, because you start thinking about that stuff out here, you're really going to freak yourself out. And I've done that before. So I'm going to try to keep my cool, and that way I can react when things go down. Well, that freaked me out. I was spinning around trying to look for the trail, and as I was spinning real quick, I thought I saw like a woman in a dress standing there. Whew, that freaked me out. I thought I saw it right there. I was spinning around and I looked back and it wasn't there. I don't know what I saw, but I'm gonna get back up to camp because that freaked me out. I can't hear anything down in this bottom. I'm not sure what's going on up here. Once you get down so low, you can't hear very well. But I heard like a deer freaking out over here and some weird sounds going on. Dang. Something just went off down there. It made my blood go cold. It sounded like someone whining or moaning. Yeah, I don't know what that was. It sounded like a person wailing, moaning.
down that way. Yes, my recorder's over there. I know it picked that up. It's just hard to record forever with this video camera without filling up the SD cards and killing the batteries. But that's what the audio recorders are for. Hopefully they picked them up and it sounded freaky, so we'll see what we got, guys. We'll see what we got.